The following program is presented by Ride the Wave Media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for all our videos at Ride the Wave Media Podcast. Enjoy the program. The following program is presented by Ride the Wave Media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for all our videos at Ride the Wave Media Podcast. Enjoy the program.
Hi, and welcome to the inner workings of the not-so-genius mind. It's been a minute. I want everyone to just take like a collective breath with me. It's been, I don't even know how many weeks it's been. It's been definitely over 2 months since I've recorded. And my hope is to really get into the habit and make it a good routine. I am definitely a late diagnosed ADHD friend. In case you couldn't tell, a lot of my friends knew before I did. So thanks for putting up with me for that long. I really want to get into a good habit and a good routine. And, this podcast has really just felt like it's been missing something. And a lot of things have been happening in my life. And I just needed to take a pause. So I appreciate everyone's patience. I don't even know where to start. I don't have a format for this episode. I just really felt like I needed to hop on and say hi. And it's right before Christmas. The holidays are hitting definitely different this year. Since last time I recorded, my dad passed away. He actually was looking really, really bad the night of the election. And then he passed away the next morning. It was just a really heavy day. And I have been a mess ever since. Part of why I didn't go back to teaching this year is because I knew he was going to pass and it was going to wreck me. And on top of that, I have been so sick off and on. I've had so many things I've had to figure out with my health, and I feel like I'm getting somewhere. I'm starting to anyway, but like now I've lost both parents. And both in like totally different ways. Like my mom last year, it was all very unexpected and it hurt a lot. It really did. It's been hard. Our relationship was not good. I was really working hard on trying to heal it and just like feel at peace with where we were at, because there was a lot of tension and a lot of drama, and I don't want that in my life anymore. There's not enough time for it, right? And then shortly after my mom passed away, David again. Shortly after my mom passed away, my dad kind of he got really, really sick, and he had dementia, and it went downhill really fast. He hasn't known who any of us, who most of us are. He knows my brother really, really well. Knew my brother, I should say. I'm really glad that I got to be there, right? And spend a little bit of time with him before he was gone. But Christmas is definitely hitting different. I really think about traditions and what they mean. And now for me, like as a grown-up trying to share traditions with my kids, and my parents aren't here anymore, I'm just looking at what do I want to pass down? What do I want to leave behind? What's my legacy, right? So we're trying to slow down. It was just the winter solstice last night, and it got dark really, really early. And in my head, I just kept thinking, like, why does 11 o'clock keep happening at 6 o'clock? It makes me so tired. I don't want to do anything. I have so much I have to get done. And then I remember that this is supposed to be a time to slow down. And I keep getting that message over and over and over again. Like, slow down, take a breath. It's time to rest. It's okay to rest, right? Like in the autumn, the leaves get all beautiful and colorful and then they drop. So autumn shows us how beautiful it is to let things go. And in winter, we see the beauty of rest. It is so quiet outside. And I mean, we don't have any snow right now. It's kind of unusual, but there's just like a peace around this time of year. And I'm really getting contemplative, using big words. But I was at a winter solstice sound bath last night, and I wanted to read something. I am told a lot that I'm resilient. And over and over and over again, like people that know me, and maybe some people that don't know me very well, I've actually decided, pause, I'm going to look up. I was going to look up what resilient means. Okay. It says a person or animal, okay, able to withstand or recover quickly from difficult conditions. Oh, but if you look at a substance or an object, it's to be able to recoil or spring back into shape after bending, stretching, or being compressed. But like, yeah, when you talk psychologically, it's the ability to cope mentally and emotionally with a crisis or return to a pre-crisis status quickly. Where did I read that off of? It was off of Google, Wikipedia. Thanks, Wikipedia. But then to be like, to really truly be resilient and get to that pre-crisis state, you have to acknowledge the darkness and the crisis that you went through, right? And I have spent a lot of time kind of like not fully healing, like just getting enough so I could get by and push on to the next thing and keep going. Because I just have to keep going, right? You just have to keep putting one foot in front of the other. Or if you're like Anna, how I have felt very much recently, is to just do the next right thing. A lot of my shadow parts and quieter parts really they were kind of scary. Like, I haven't even wanted to look at my photo albums, and I just realized that I think my kids haven't seen very many pictures of me when I was growing up. Like, they have no clue what my life was like growing up. And I think about different memories and things, especially now, this time of year, and I'm thinking about traditions, what I leave behind. Like, I know what I leave behind now are the memories that I'm making with them. So my hope is to be able to pass on what's important and to be able to make those good memories, right? And it's been difficult to get there. I feel like I've been in fight or flight forever. And I'm finally starting to feel grounded. It has taken forever. It's been Like, I don't ever remember feeling like this. I have longed for safety my whole life. That is all I've wanted. And I haven't felt safe ever, really. Like, after everything I've been through, when things start to get good, I just wait for the other shoe to drop. Like, I know something is going to happen. And I haven't ever really been able to bounce back all the way. So here I am. I'm bouncing back. Here's some stuff that I wrote down, and I just want to share it really fast, and then I'm going to go have brunch. And I've been kind of scared of my past. So I think I'm now, speaking of the photo albums, I think I'm now able to I think I could pull those out and look at them with my kids. I think I'm healed enough that I can go to my shadow parts and not be ashamed. And I can go to my past and honor who I was then and love who I am now and how far I've come. Okay, but now I'm going to read. Okay. Being resilient means having to go through trials. People focus on the bright sunny side and ignore the fact that there was darkness to fight through, and often we fight through it alone. We hide our pain. Everything is okay, right? We keep telling everyone it's okay, but it's not. And that's okay. It's our instinct to not show weakness when really we don't have to be alone. And we have driven all of our villages away. What I really believe is when we are in that dark and twisty place and we're feeling alone, there is probably a lot of people who have been in very similar situations. And maybe the times when you're trying to hide and you're trying to be alone, those are the times when you need people. You need your village. It's okay to reach out and ask for help. Like, your life is a mess. What can we do to help? And somebody told me that they admired the fact that whenever I don't say something, but whenever I notice that something has happened, I look at what I can do to help. I've decided, Mr. Rogers had his whole thing he said about looking for the helpers. Well, I give up on looking for the helpers. I'm tired of looking for them. I'm just going to be one. And I'm going to do what I can. And there's a lot of things that are outside of my control, but there's a lot of things in my control. So I'm going to do what I can with what I have to help who I can. That's my goal as being Mrs. Daybreak this season. I have a couple fundraiser things happening. You'll have to hear about it later. I'm looking for something. The last thing I want to do before I go. I found it. This is my dad. And that's his last king salmon he caught. He always lived life with a lot of adventure, that's for sure. My sisters and I spoke at his funeral. He was just a really incredible man. You know what I mean? Anyway, I miss him a lot. He was buried down in St. George. I live in Daybreak. I'm Mrs. Daybreak. Hi. But we had his service. We did an American Fork, and it was amazing to see so many people. Everybody in my family was involved, which was way better than what happened with my mom's funeral. Like, I don't even want to talk about that. But then he was buried in St. George. And get this, he was buried in the wrong plot. And we didn't, well, it's fine because there was somebody else with the same name and it's like a whole thing, but it's okay. Like, we're not upset. It's actually kind of funny because every time my dad would come back from any kind of trip, like skiing or biking or hiking or just a business trip, meeting with people, he would say he escaped the jaws of death one more time. And so here's his escape, his last time, right? The last time he escaped death, he just needed to get moved one more time. And he wrote this beautiful poem. I'm gonna take this. And he actually used to read it at funerals when he was a LDS bishop. And I am gonna read it with you, and then I'm gonna go have brunch. Brunch, brunch, brunch. I need brunch. It's kind of long. I just think it's beautiful that we included it in his funeral. Oh God, I thank thee not only for physical comforts, but for the myriad of beauties and sensations that turn time into life and its kaleidoscopic miracle. I thank thee for art, the mute violet colors of a painter's brush that speak across epochs in a timeless racing language. The colored waves of sound evoked by a great musician in a moment of ecstasy. A word's brilliant flash as it leaps from a page to illuminate an emotion in my mind. I thank thee for nature, a watercolor sunset, a diamond tingling dawn when the air is a crystal dewdrop against my cheek, the hush of a wood, smell of fallen logs and pine needles, an orchid in a snowbank, the lonely majesty of a desert, the empty gray of sage on sand, a violet's heart, a lash of a wave spitting spume and spray against a cliff. I thank thee that I have known emotion, felt its transport, a bed of clouds, a mistiness of tears in my eyes, a swelling in my throat, a fullness in my breast. But more than all of these, I thank thee for the ability to feel pain. I thank thee for the knife in my heart, the bitterness of my tongue, the empty, hollow moments racked with a scream that will not unloose, but only echo my aching shell, for the frustration of hopes, dreams, and 4 gray walls. I thank thee for these, that I might feel the peace which follows, the calm that soothes the pain-frayed soul, and enables me to see across the galaxies of space and time to home. Anyway, life is too short to not live it fully. So I'm thankful that I can finally feel what it feels like to be out of fight or flight for once. Okay, love you all. I'm gonna go get brunch. Take care of yourselves. It's a crazy world out there. And let's get some guests on here. Oh, yeah, wait a second. I'm not done. I want to thank Ride the Wave Media. We're doing a lot of really cool things. I have a lot of really fun stuff coming up for 2025. So does Ride the Wave. So check us out. And you can follow along in our YouTube and at Ride the Wave Media on Instagram. And you can also check out my Instagram at Not So Genius. You will find all kinds of charity events and things that I have going on as I continue my journey as Mrs. Daybreak. Love you all. Happy holidays, whatever you're celebrating. See you next year, maybe.